Let's talk about the Backrooms. So the Backrooms, of course, is a film that is being directed by Kane Parsons, and this is based on Kane Parsons' Backrooms series, which you can actually find on YouTube. And around like when they first released, we reacted to it in the channel. Horrible quality. Had a crappy webcam back then. I would want to revisit it. I mean, should we revisit it before we sort of get to watch the Backrooms next week? That could be a possibility. So let me know in the comments below if we should revisit some of them, especially found footage number 3, which is one that Kane Parsons himself says is sort of like, I don't know if he's trying to say it's like a prequel or sort of a teaser to what we can expect from the Backrooms, but would love to revisit some of those like videos from the series for sure. So hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. We are here to talk about the Backrooms. We talk horror movies and all kinds of movies. We just did a video on Obsession. If you like that movie, definitely check it out. And we are excited for Backrooms. We're excited for Passenger this week. I love boosters. Like, we just love movies. So make sure you are subscribed here to Culture Elixir. But let's talk about this new movie from Kane Parsons with A24, starring Chiwetel Ejiofor, Renata Ransbe, as well as Mark Duplass, Finn Bennett, Lukita Maxwell, Avan Jogia, as well as Robert Borowski. Hope I said that right. But this is a movie that is going to be, I think, one of those movies where we're just like, yeah, this is about to be a cultural phenomenon for sure, because I think the Backrooms, of course, are indeed one of the biggest, like, creepypastas, quote unquote, if you want to call it that. If not, you could just call it a phenomenon. But you know, call it whatever you want. So the original thing apparently happened after a photograph of a large room with fluorescent lights and a palish yellow color was posted on various message boards. Now, this apparently was posted as well on 4chan's paranormal thread, and it asked people to post disquieting images that just feel off. Apparently, this photograph was put on there and somebody replied to this post, giving it a little bit more of a background and also a description. They said, if you're not careful and you clip out of reality in the wrong areas, you'll end up in the Backrooms, where it's nothing but the stink of old moist carpet, the madness of mono yellow, the endless background noise of fluorescent lights at maximum hum buzz, and approximately 600 million square miles of randomly segmented empty rooms to be trapped in. God save you if you hear something wandering around nearby, because it sure as hell has heard you. So this actually was, like, you could say, the origins for the Backrooms. And of course, this started a lot of different creepypastas centered around it. People started sharing their own stories of what the Backrooms could be. Depending on whatever you thought about the Backrooms, people had different, like, ideas of it. And so the Backrooms sort of exploded, you could say, a little bit more once Kane Parsons came up with his idea for what the Backrooms could be. But it has inspired other people such as Dan Erickson with the show Severance and other people online. Now, Kane Parsons decided to do his own spin on the Backrooms. So his spin on it was very interesting, because in his idea of the Backrooms story that he created on YouTube, it's set in the 1990s, which the movie is as well, and it follows Async Research Institute. They're this institute that has discovered the Backrooms, and they're just like, we have to figure out how the Backrooms works, and we have to study it. We're going to document it along the way, and that's kind of what Kane Parsons' Backrooms shorts on YouTube are about. He also has other people that go into the Backrooms, and that's where found footage number 3 is based on, because it's about a citizen that has found his way into the Backrooms and is trying to find out what the hell's going on here. Now, Async is a company that is going to be, I think, prominent in the Backrooms film. We've already seen it in the trailer. A lot of people also in the trailer have pointed out that Avan Jogia is playing a person that works for Async that may have been lost and will probably come and encounter them at some point, which we'll talk about as well. Pretty much that's a very fast explanation of where the Backrooms originated, what Kane Parsons did with the Backrooms, and where we're going with this film. Now, like I said, Kane Parsons has said that the found footage number 3 video is pretty much a teaser for this movie. And I think that a big part of that video is showcasing what people are calling maybe the main antagonists here, as you can see in this quick shot and also in the trailer as well. This actually has a name in Kane Parsons Backrooms lore, and it is called Still Life. And Still Life is sort of what the Backrooms makes to be like a human of sorts. And it can move across kind of like a human, but not really like a human at the same time. So Uncanny Valley vibes for sure. And I think that it's interesting to see this character here. And my question is this what Ava Georgia turns into at some point after being in the Backrooms for so long? You know, we'll have to wait and see, but I am very excited to see what Kane Parsons is doing here. So from the trailers alone, we know that Chiwetel Ejiofor Clark is a furniture store owner here and is also a failed architect. So I think the Backrooms are going to intrigue him a lot because of this. And he finds the Backrooms inadvertently, I guess. He then recruits Finn Bennett as well as Lukita Maxwell, who play Bobby and Kat, to help him document this. And it seems from the trailer is because they have a camera. So he's trying to map it all out, trying to create as much, I would say, understanding of this place as he can. It seems that at some point he has started to see a therapist, has been trying to tell her about it, but she's kind of like, I think you're just like going through some stuff, right? Therapist's name is Dr. Marie Klein, played by Renata Rensbe. And he's just trying his hardest to be like, I'm not lying. This exists. There is a dimension out there that I need to comprehend. One day, Clark vanishes, disappears, and Dr. Marie Klein has to go in and find him. And we see in the second trailer that it maybe because they ventured in too far, Clark, Bobby, and Kat, and we see maybe even they get chased by this entity or Still Life, right? And that's exactly what is happening here. I do believe that Ava and Jojo might have left some clues for them and they start to follow it. Maybe there's some recordings of sorts. The year is 1990, so it's kind of in the same year as the shorts that Kane Parsons has put up. So Async's here and we see them in the trailer as well. So that makes it even more interesting. Maybe Clark is going to find out what Async is actually up to as well. And Dr. Marie Klein goes to look for him, ends up in the Backrooms as well. Trapped seemingly. I wonder how far they did venture to get trapped because it seemed like they had a plan at first with the rope and all of that, but I think that after encountering whatever is down here, they probably ran and got lost, and the Backrooms feel ever changing, right? So things probably got horrible down here. So pretty much that's what this film is going to sort of tackle. It's Kane Parsons shorts that he's already done. So he's just expanding the lore of his idea of the Backrooms. The Backrooms did start on the internet. And like I said, you'll probably find a lot of different like lore behind the Backrooms because nobody has the definite Backrooms lore, right? It's just an ever expanding story, and now we're seeing Kane Parsons' vision. So I'm excited about that. I've heard that it's really good from reviews that have come out recently when it first screened in LA. I hope to see it probably next week in the screening, but if not, I'll go see this in theaters for sure. But overall, very excited. I do feel like Mark Duplass here is probably playing somebody from Async here, maybe the head boss. Like I could see him in that role for sure. And I'm excited to find out what else is happening in this film. Actor here, Robert Bobrovsky, who is a former basketball player who stands at 7'7", is in the movie. And you know, he actually was in the movie Alien Romulus as this human xenomorph mutant. So I feel like he could be playing like an entity of sorts here as well, just because of his stature. So we'll probably see what that is. Maybe he is still alive. So a lot of theories to bounce on here. I think that Evan Georgia's character is going to be crucial for Clark and the sort of findings of Async as well here and what they're up to for sure. I also see that they might be doing a Backrooms 2 at some point because this is going to make a ton of money and they're going to be like, yeah, we want more money. So, you know, hopefully it is still in the same vision that Kane wants to bring on to us, but we'll see what happens. But I'm excited to see Parsons did use Blender and Adobe After Effects here as he did with his YouTube videos. So it seems to be in the same spirit, in the same nature as his previous shorts. So we're excited to see what happens with the Backrooms. Let me know your thoughts and your opinions on it. We'll make a theory video as well before the movie releases next week. And I cannot wait to get into the Backrooms. Hopefully we'll find a way out. But as always, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell for all the things you love on the road to 50,000 subscribers. Let's get to it. As always, stay safe, stay positive.